Welcome back to the Iron Italian Kitchen. Joining me today, all the way from New York, I have my lovely little sister, and we are going to make a recipe of my own that I feel like I have perfected, not to toot my own horn, and it is a very nostalgic one for us, and it is my perfect chicken patty recipe. So let's get started. So the first order of business is preheating this bad boy. 375. So what we have in front of us is the basics. Since there's 3 of us tonight, we are going to be making 2 pounds, and we got some nice lean Tyson ground chicken. We're gonna put a little bit of this sugar-free syrup in. Yes, I know, artificial sweeteners, God forbid. And of course, none other than Kodiak baking mix, which adds a ton of protein, and this is what's gonna crisp it up, so do not skip this. Now we have 2 Jalapenos.
Do you like jalapenos on your nachos?
And I don't really eat nachos like that.
Well, I don't eat nachos like that.
And we're gonna chop up some onions, so I'll give the exact, measurements and all that as we're putting it in. So let's get after it. Just to save a little bit on the camera space and time, who really wants to see me removing the flesh and seeds out of the jalapenos, which I did because we don't want it to have that much heat, because we're gonna get a lot of it from the little bit of cayenne that we're gonna put in here. We're gonna season this chicken, we got it all in the mixing bowl here, with a little bit of salt and pepper, and then we're gonna get the seasoning through it before we add everything else, because it's super important to get your meat seasoned before you actually start to cook it or add anything else to it. Would you like to do the honors? No, we like a lot of salt and stuff. Okay, that's pretty good. Yeah, that you gotta manage.
2 tablespoons?
Or is it teaspoons? Let me check.
I don't even think there's enough in here to do 2 tablespoons. I think there's enough in there. You're gonna have some more. Yeah, it's done.
Ah! Ooh, I should touch my eyes now.
Now touch the jalapenos first.
Ooh, yes. And the onions. Now comes the toughest part. Try to chop the onion small enough before you cry. We got it done, boys. No tears. Now we get the rest of the flavors into the mix. So I've always said that when my hands get involved, you know it's made with love. So what we're gonna do first is get all this mixed through, and then
we got the best part.
Yes, the most important part. So now we're gonna add that over the top. Yeah, just pour the whole thing in. Nice. And then, yes, so this is a full cup of the Kodiak mix because it's 2 pounds. So everything we're gonna divide in half if you're gonna make only 1 pound. So this is going to be a 1/4 cup of the syrup, sugar-free, of course. You can just pour it over the top. Super important step before you start mixing this with your hands. Have somebody give both your hands a little shot of cooking spray. Otherwise, you will never get it off your hands.
You're still never gonna get it off.
Good. Now we really get messy. So once that is all completely mixed through, the next step is to high-five your partner.
No thanks.
So this is going to make 8 patties. That's because we like them pretty big. So what you're gonna do is just shape them with your hands, and we gave this baking sheet a little spritz of olive oil cooking spray, and we're just gonna throw them down on there. So clearly, this can become a freaking mess. So this is not necessary unless you have somebody else working with you on these. So I'm gonna have my sister actually scrape off what's left of here and in the bowl with this rubber spatula. Of course, we don't waste no food in the Iron Italian kitchen. I appreciate it.
I was given such weird jobs. It feels like I'm scraping like cat food.
Well, it surely won't taste like it. Don't ask me how I know. Okay, next step for now. These are going in the oven. Would you like to do the honors?
Sure.
Bottom rack. Don't try this at home.
Oh.
That's those pizza hands, girl. Or this.
You know, you could just grab the oven.
I could. Probably should, right? The proper way. 20 minutos.
That is so bad.
Now we wait. And when the timer hits 5 minutes, if you're not toasting your buns, what are you doing? Now, for the moment of truth. Make sure you shut your oven off too.
Thumbs up and a full mouth saying it's good.
Righto.
Righto, old chap.
So traditionally, chicken patties are breaded and fried, but by not frying them, you rip a lot of the calories out because that's obviously just hot oil. I am going to give you guys the calorie count for the chicken patties, and I think these buns are about 190 each. So there's the math. By not breading and frying them, it gives it a much more consistent texture and flavor instead of it just being white meat chicken that's probably under seasoned, that's just wrapped in flour. So these guys dressed them up with some other stuff. I always like to get it in its full glory. Not to be confused with another word. Okay guys, this time around, well, your first time, this is like his 20th time.
Yeah.
What do we say out of 10?
9 out of 10.
I'll take it.
10, baby.
That ain't my favorite food, by the way, you know what I mean?